So just a quick update with those following along with the story about these Powerwalls. So we had 10 Powerwalls installed back in, 16 months ago, June 2021. And unfortunately, we've just been having issues that when all 10 Powerwalls are on, the whole system will sort of turn off on a daily, weekly basis, sometimes many times a day. And essentially, Tesla's been handling the situation since the very beginning. It was evaluated that there seems to be issues with the gateway being able to control the 10 Powerwalls. So it's a very sensitive system in that each of the Powerwalls apparently are receiving some sort of signal or some sort of frequency which indicates how much power distribution each Powerwall needs to deliver. And that communication message is sent from that gateway up there, and that goes through a network link in between, in like a piggyback chain from Powerwall 1 through to 10, and that's called, like, I believe the CAN bus network backbone for each of the Powerwalls. And if a message doesn't say get to the Powerwall at the end or at some point along the way, so if one of those Powerwalls isn't being provided that signal in enough time, it means it won't be providing power, but the other 9 will be, and will be underpowering the property. And this currently does log an error message that Tesla is seeing. This is what they've advised me, and their explanation of this cause is essentially that gateway down the end is reaching 100% CPU, RAM, and also the network capacity is getting to 100%. As to why, it sounds like this system, this 10 Powerwall off-grid system, or at least what I've been advised, used to work a couple years ago. But with all the firmware changes, it seems to have been adding more CPU, RAM, memory overload to the system, which is causing that instability. So we have a new firmware patch that they're going to be rolling out this coming, in 2 weeks from now, they're going to be providing to me. It's been in testing. So this is, I believe, either the 4th or the 5th firmware change attempt that we've been going through to try and reach stability. And one thing I'm now trying to push for after about 12 months of no compensation is to reach compensation, because one of the agreements was when the system is stabilized, resolved, then we can talk about compensation, because what's happened is they've been asking for me to turn off these last 3 and 4 Powerwalls throughout different times for testing to try and reach stability when we only have either 6 or 7 on. So 6 was working for a few months, then we had some crashes, then 7 was working for a few months after firmware change, then we had some crashes, then we had another firmware change, we tried to put 10 on, and then we had crashes, and those crashes can go for 5 seconds or as long as 10 minutes. So it's a bit of an interesting one, and it's still in progress, so probably another... in 3 weeks from now is when I'll be able to provide an update to confirm whether we did have some compensation to pay for electricity in the very least, because obviously when we have 4 Powerwalls offline, we're having to connect devices to the grid, like take them out of this off-grid setup and do a customized grid connection so we can temporarily, get through if we're running low on power. Essentially this whole property is supposed to be off-grid, but we've got a tiny little meter box with still a power outlet that we can connect to in emergency situations. But look, that's the current update. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out.